Hi guys, it's about 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm gonna make my lunch. I'm gonna make myself a meatball hero. I'm going to make one of my famous meatballs, and I'm going to save the rest for spaghettis and meatballs for my dinner. So I make one meal for 2 meals. Isn't that great? Welcome to Monty Style. We're doing taste today. So let's get started on my famous meatballs. First you need a pound of beef. You need sea salt, Italian seasoning, Worcestershire sauce, and we need extra olive oil. You see it's almost empty, love it. We need AM1. I broke the top earlier, it's horrible, huh? Egg, a green onion, a green tomato, an onion, some garlic, some mustard, some chili, some AM1 sauce, some Parmesan cheese, some soy sauce, and my favorite seasoning that I make on my own. So, and a hero roll, because I'm only making one meatball hero. So, I'm gonna put this to the side, and let's get to making my famous meatballs for my meatball hero sandwich and my spaghetti and meatballs later. All right, so first we're gonna drop in Parmesan. Not all of it. Well, why not? Use all of it. We're gonna use garlic. I'm gonna save a little bit for later. I'm gonna use some mustard. We're going to use some soy sauce. We're going to use some AM1 sauce. We're going to use some chili powder. We're going to use my seasoning. And all that's it for now. I'm going to rinse all this off. I'm going to put everything into the sink. This is for later, because we're gonna make homemade tomato sauce, which is gravy. We're gonna make some homemade gravy. Now since all that's in there, I'm gonna put the spoon in there. We don't need it anymore. I'm gonna use a cup of sea salt. This is kosher sea salt too. It doesn't have a label because I don't want anybody touching it when they come here. And a little Italian seasoning. Some horseradish with sugar sauce. That's it. I'm gonna put all these items away. I'll put that there for now. And I'm gonna put my gloves on because I don't eat anybody's meatballs that don't use gloves. Because I don't know where your fingernails been. Hey, remember, I don't play that. So, as I take forever to get the gloves on. I think I should have had the gloves on first. Not. I'm gonna need a surgeon. All right, here we go. So as I fight with the gloves, let's get, we're gonna have to edit some of that down. Okay, I'm ready guys, here we go. Egg, just crack one, throw it in there. Please throw the eggs away. Don't touch your handles with the egg product. Throw everything away. Put your eggs away. And here's where we start just mixing that meat up. You want to get it in there nice and good. And you see that, how your nails could get all the meat in there? That's really gross. So you want to do that. You want to get it in there nice and good. I mean, fold it in is the best way. Don't squeeze it in, fold it in. And then just make one big meatball. Just like that. And you're done. So now you're gonna need your cutting board. So I'm gonna grab my cutting board that I'm gonna use. And I'm gonna start making my meatballs. You know, as big as you want them. I like my meatballs not that big. Like that size. You see the meatball. Grab another handful. And try to make 6 meatballs to get them into the frying pan. Okay. Because you only need 4 meatballs to go into a hero roll with all your sauce. See, I almost have 6 ready. Now that that's done, I'm going to take my turn on my water, rinse off my hands just to get the meat off. Because I want to actually turn up my stove a little bit. I'm going to grab a towel, well, paper napkins, and I'm just going to turn up my heat some to about a low medium. And I'm going to put that in the sink, and we're going to start with the first 6. Get that in there. Sit tight. Put that in there. 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 Turn up a little bit more. Get that in there. And while that starts, we're going to start on our other meatballs. There. And there. Oop, that's not a meatball. With a pound of meat, you should be able to get at least 12 meatballs for 2 people or a single person to have 2 meals. A hero and spaghetti. See, look at that. Looks like I'm gonna get more meatballs, which is great. So then I can actually fill in the ones that are so smaller than the others. One there, one there. You want to get all the dressings and stuff out of it. Look at that. Looks like we got 8, guys. There we go. I'm going to get this over here. All my products into it. I make a lot of noise, don't I? It's fun. Okay, now that I got that done, I'm gonna grab that, cut off my water again, and I'm going to take one glove off, which is easy. You don't touch your hand, you pull it off. Clean hand now. Throw that into the garbage, and you have one hand, because you need one hand to touch the meatballs and one hand to turn the other meatballs. So, you want to turn your meatballs. You just want to brown them. Sometimes they stick. It's okay. Turn them nice. Try to turn them over and get them all in one spot. So now that your meatballs are in one spot there, you can actually bring over the rest of your meatballs and put them in. Have to make more room. There we go. Get the rest of the meatballs in there. Now I'm done. Now I can grab my spoon. I can take off this glove here, which is very easy without touching it. That way. And you see how the spoon went up under my hand and I pulled the glove down. So now I can work freely without contaminating anything. So, look at my meatballs. Some of them are ripping. Why don't rip? But I don't care. Now as your meatballs are cooking, you should have your oven on 380, okay? Because you want your meatballs to be ready for the oven. So as you put your meatballs, as you are preparing your meatballs, your oven should be on 380. And then once you get your meatballs in, you turn it down to 350. You just want the oven to be hot, so when you open it, it will release some of the heat. But by the time you get your meatballs in and you close it, the oven should be about 340. And once you turn it down to 350, you're set. So let's get these meatballs cooking. They smell good. Okay, this spoon is not doing the job for me. Let me find a top. Let me see. That's better. So I'm turning my meatballs, getting everything ready. Some of them break, it's okay. You just turn them over on the other side. And let them cook. And while those are cooking, I'm going to get my gravy ready, which is simple. I'm going to use a plain old saucepan, and I'm going to get some olive oil, just a dash, throw it in there, get the pot ready. Switch that around. I'm going to turn this on to a medium, a little higher than a medium, and I'm going to start on my onion first while that pan is heating up. It's really easy to do your onion. Just want to get all the skin off. That's done. I'm going to pick all this up. Oops. Throw that away. Gonna get another cutting board. I'm gonna take my onion. I'm going to slice it. Nice, good pieces. I don't want them too tiny. I'm going to do my other onion. I don't like the way that piece is looking. Take that off. Put that to the side. And they're ready. Then I'm going to take my leftover garlic. I'm going to throw it into the pan. I'm going to get a little more garlic. What did I do with the garlic? Disappearing at. I'll take my other spoon. Got a little bit more garlic in here. Swoosh that around. Get that going. I'm going to get my seasoning. Which will be my Italian seasoning. I lowered that some. And I'm going to get my onions. And I'm going to throw them in there. Get a little higher. I'm going to turn my meatballs. Turn the meatballs down. Turn them. I'm going to turn them off actually now. You see how much oil beef has? And I used a little bit of oil in here. That's how fatty this meat is. I turned those off now. I'm gonna let those sit. And I'm gonna finish my sauce. I'm gonna cut my tomato. But I'm using a green tomato, which I love. Because it looks like a green pepper, right? I'm just gonna slice it. We're gonna slice it. We're gonna slice it. And I'm gonna get rid of my garbage first. And I'm gonna take my green tomato. I'm gonna throw it in there. Put that to the side. I'm gonna mix everything up. Nice. Well, while that's cooking, I'm going to work on my meatballs. And I'm going to put all my meatballs into my baking pan now, because they're not cooked all the way through. They're just really nice and brown. I'm going to get these in there. Now I'm going to put my meatballs into the oven. I'm going to turn the oven down to 350. And I'm going to go back to my sauce, my gravy. I'm going to add my seasoning to it now. So this would be my own special blend of pepper, sea salt, dried up peppers and things like that, crushed in a blender. You can always dry, you can always dry your peppers and onions and things like that in the oven or in the microwave. And then you can put them in a food processor and chop them up really nicely. So I'm gonna turn this a little higher, get this going, get the flavors going. That smells really good. So I just want a little bit more sea salt. That's it. You got your green in there. You got your onion in there. Looks pretty good, huh? So now I'm gonna get my tomato paste, my gravy from one of my favorite companies. I love this stuff. And you're gonna lower your temperature because you don't want it to splatter. And you're gonna pour it in. I'm gonna just stir it around, stir it around, stir it around. It should be on a nice simmer now. Okay. All right, excuse me, I'm gonna get rid of this pot. I'm gonna put it so it can cool off in the area. Just look at that gravy. Okay, now that that's nice and turning, I have a leftover tomato. What I love to do is to chop it up. I'm going to show you. I'm going to chop it up right now. I'm even going to get rid of that. I don't have to wash it because I already washed it because I used it. I'm going to use every bit of the tomato. You know, sometimes when you have a tomato and you're making things with gravy or sauce, this is how you can get rid of leftovers. So now let's just pour it in there. Now we got a blend of gravy. We have yellow, we have green, and we have red. So, put that in the sink, and we're going to stir that in. I want it to have a little heat, so let me get the top. I'm going to turn up just a little. I don't want the bottom to burn. I just want it to get a little heat. I want to see how that tastes. That's actually good. Oh my gosh, that's good. It already has thyme and everything in it because I added it into my special seasoning. So when you're making your own seasoning, find all of the products that you like and just put it into a bottle, and you will always have your mix already ready for you. So now that's done, and clean up a little. I'm gonna turn this down to a low. Put this in the sink. Please guys, always rinse out your cans for recycle, or when you're putting it into your own garbage can, because you don't want your garbage can to smell. And I'll leave that there. I'm going to use that. I'm going to put you in here too. That's done. Got a lot of things going. I try to clean up as I'm cooking at the same time because I just hate a mess. So, and I can just sweep the floor later. Now, here is one of the things that I love. Now, the meatballs have been in there for at least 5 to 7 minutes now. So they all have been browned on the outside. They're really nice and tough now. So let's see how they're doing for the last 10 minutes. They look excellent. And they're not ready yet. I can show you, they are not ready yet. But this is for 2 people. So, now since they're nice and solid, now you want the real meatball and spaghetti. Now, my father would never, ever, ever make meatballs on top and then throw them right into the gravy. He would put them in the oven and so let them get warm on the inside so all the juices stay inside. Then about 10 minutes later, he would take his gravy and he would do this. You pour it in. And that's it. Then he would put it back in there and let it bake. So now you're cooking 2 things at one time. So, just so I can be greedy again. Man, that's good. Okay. This is my water for later for my spaghetti. I'm always prepared. And I'm gonna use the same top that I use the spaghetti for. Saving time again. All right. And I'm going to get my spaghetti out for later. And I always use the best. I always do. I love spaghetti. So, if you want to buy okay spaghetti, this is the one to buy. I like it. So, and I always buy in bulk. Saves time, saves money. This comes in about 8 packets of spaghetti. So, put things away. And all we need now is to spray my counter. I need paper towels. So spray my counter. What I'm going to work at again, I see leftover meat. That grosses me out. Because I put things on my counter. Alright, here we go. And as you notice, I use Windex and all-purpose. To clean my counters. So, I would show you my pantry, but it's a mess. I'm supposed to clean it every Saturday, but I didn't. All right, so now that's ready. I'm gonna get another cutting board out. And if you notice, my cutting boards are old and I use them. I have loads of them. And you know where I get them from? And I keep buying them. I get them from IKEA. I haven't opened up this one yet, but see, I have loads of them because they're so handy. Because when you're chopping and you want to pick it up and fold it and drop it into the food, it's really great. And I mean, I love IKEA. And I mean, I could just pull them all out for you. I have so many. So, and these are only, I think they're $1.99 or maybe $2.99. But how, you can't go wrong with IKEA's products for the kitchen either. So, hey, so I use them. They're washable. I burn them. I put my pots on them. You know, great. So, let's get the roll ready. You're just going to slice it right here. And you're going to stop here and you can start it right here. So when you open up your bread, it still has pieces for the meat to go into. You see that? So it can sit. And that's it. After it's done, you can toast it, which I'm going to do. So, I'm going to go wash my hands now, and I'm going to let the meat cook for 10 minutes, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, the meat has been cooking for about 8 minutes. But in the next 2 minutes, I just want to show you what to do with that leftover icky grease and you know, from frying those meatballs. So you're just going to grab your plastic spoon and you're going to grab your pan. But that can I used for the gravy, which is my favorite company that I love to use. You wash it out, put it into the garbage. The oil should be cooled off by now. You pick it up and you throw all of those leftover parts and grease into that. And guess what? You're done. You put it in the sink, put a little hot water on it, And remember, it's a cast iron pan. So with your cast iron pan, you just want to wash it and then re-grease it. Not a lot of grease, you just want to coat it so it doesn't rust. And you're going to close your, there we go. So now let's get back to that meatball sandwich. So let's see how the meatballs are doing. They're ready, look at that. Half an hour time, look at that. That looks great. The gravy is ready. That looks incredible. So, now while that's doing that, I'm gonna take my glove off, put it on the side, and I'm going to do a quick, I'm gonna turn the oven to high broil. And I don't like a lot of cheese. This is mozzarella. You're just gonna put your cheese in there like that. And that's all you need for one hero. Just a half a bowl of your dessert bowls. Put a half, just fill it half, and you can fill your roll. Then you just take your roll, make sure it's nice and open. You don't even have to butter it. Set it in, leave it there. It'll take about 3 minutes, less than that. How about 30 seconds? And while you're doing that, you can get rid of other things. You can clean up like I did for the last 10 minutes during that commercial break, hee hee ha ha. And put your stuff away. Now that that's happening, you can get your plate out that you want to plate with. I always have lunch plates or outside plates. Okay, we're gonna get some napkins and we're gonna do a few pretzels for the side. I'd rather do pretzels than chips. And we're gonna do that. Oh, and what do we need to pull out our sauce and gravy and meatballs? A ladle. I'm gonna put that there. How's that doing? Oh, that's looking great. A couple of more seconds and it'll be perfect. So, let's get a wine glass out. It's lunchtime and I need a drink. So, I have one out here, but I forgot to wash it last night. Bad. That must be, I might have had too many. No, I did not at Monty's.me. But you know, don't forget, it's Monty's at montystyle.me. So we're gonna fill this up, so hold on. I gotta check my bread. Because you don't want your bread burnt on top or just too hard or not toasted enough. So you gotta keep a good eye out. Oh, see, now that's what I'm talking about. See, I like a good bread. I'm gonna turn the oven off now. Oh, and you can reach in and grab it. Now you see how nice and toasted? You don't want the cheese too melted. You want it just like that. Doesn't that look great? The bread is nice and hot. It feels good on my hands. And the matzah, and look how it's nice and toasted here and toasted there. And the cheese is not really melted, but it's melted and the bread is nice and warm. I'm gonna sit it here. And I'm going to get my sauce and gravy, put it in here. Look at that. That looks great. Get some of the onions and the green tomato that look like peppers, right? Pretty cool, right? That's the best trick I can ever do. And I think it needs one more meatball. A little gravy. I'm gonna sit that there. But before I do anything else, I really would like to show you what that meatball looks like. I'm gonna add a little gravy. Told you I'm a foodie. Let's take a look at that meatball. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that a nice meatball? Ooh, well. Let's taste it. Looks might be good. But I wanted you to see in 30 minutes your meatballs can be done and tender. Oh man. That's a good meatball, guys. Would you like some? Well, come over. You know, just visit me at montesstyle.me. But let's get back to that hero after I finish this. Oh my gosh. Look at that. I told you I'm a foodie, and look at the nice onions. Everything's in there nicely. A lot of good gravy. Wow. I just want to lick the bowl. Oh, well, the plate. So, I'm going to let you get a good look at this while I go in my little winery, well, my pantry, and get me some wine. So, remember guys, to always make sure that your bread is nice and toasted where it doesn't fall apart. And the cheese is melted just right. So now I have a good glass of wine. I'm going to cut that in half so I don't look that greedy. Look at that, guys. Isn't that great? Now that's a piece of good hero. So you guys don't know what you're missing. So I got myself a good glass of wine. And don't forget to Facebook me. Don't forget to tweet me. Montes at montesstyle.me. So don't forget it. You can email me at that line, okay? And don't forget, I will be live streaming when I post most of this if you have any questions for me. So I gotta go because it's nice outside and it might rain again. So I'm gonna get my glass of wine, my hero, Montes at montesstyle.me. See you later.